Hi, Jessica. All right, let's refresh people why we talked to you the first time. Why were you on our show back in October?
Oh, goodness. I mean, I think back in October, we were talking about my race to become the first out woman who is a member of the LGBTQ community to be elected to the state legislature in Pennsylvania.
That's right. So there's you and Brian, and there was another gentleman elected.
Malcolm Kenyatta, yes, Malcolm Kenyatta, who is now running for senator of
Yes.
Pennsylvania as well. Yes.
Yeah, so it's exciting that there's three of you now. That's almost you could have a little caucus.
Though I will echo Sean's point as well, because with Brian running for lieutenant governor and Malcolm running for senator, I could very well be alone, and we can't have that. I can't go from having my two big brothers in the state house to being alone. So if you are a Pennsylvanian thinking about running for state house, please step up. You can't leave me all alone.
So what has been the reaction to your election? What have you heard from people?
You know, these are interesting times to be elected for the first time. One of my staff members had worked for my predecessor, and she said to me, you know, it's literally never been like this. And she's worked for my predecessor for over 20 years. And so to be in this moment where there are so many different demands on the state level, whether that's fixing our broken unemployment system or making sure that people get the vaccines that they need, you know, for the most part, people are just excited that I've stepped up to do the work. And I think that's what I found so fulfilling, because for so long as a queer activist, you know, it's all about fighting to have the voices of our community heard. And so to now be in a place where I have the tools to help my community, that's been really exciting.
So have you gotten any feedback or some splashback from people saying, oh, she's just going to represent those people and she's not going to represent our community as a whole?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's always online bullying, right? But for the most part, the interactions that I have with my constituents are really positive. And I think that's because they see that I'm already fighting for our whole community.
So are you grooming anyone to run for other offices? And how would you go about that? Do you have anybody in mind?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that, you know, as a representative from my local area, it's really hard for me to look across the state and say, this is somebody who should run in this area. Because I think it's up to each local area for those people to step up and decide for themselves, or to hear that call from their community to step up and serve. So I don't know that I have anybody in particular in mind right now. You know, I'm really focused on our super local races. So I've got a school board candidate that I'm really excited about. I've got some borough council candidates that I'm really excited about. But definitely, you know, as we get closer to 2022, I'll be keeping my ear out for anybody who's thinking about running.
Well, I think you're a great example of someone saying, I'm going to run, I'm going to be out, and succeeding. You know, and you survived. Politically and physically. So that's great. So, are there any? Okay, let's hone in on our community. Are there any issues that you really want to push?
Yeah, so Pennsylvania does not have statewide non-discrimination protections for LGBTQ people. And so that's something that, together with Brian and Malcolm and with another great ally legislator, Dan Frankel, the four of us have a bill that would create those non-discrimination protections. So I know we're all really excited about that. Malcolm Kenyatta and I are working on a bill together that would allow us to collect data about our community on the state level, because, you know, right now it's hard for us to say which state services members of our community are accessing the most, because we just don't collect that data. So we've got a bill that would create kind of an optional checkbox for people to say that they're part of our community on government forms. Brian Sims and I are working on a bill to ban conversion abuse at the state level. And we're also working on a bill that would create a comprehensive LGBTQ inclusive sex education curriculum. So there's a lot of things that we're working on. And I think the most exciting thing for me is how collaborative it has been. You know, when we're fighting for our community, we're really doing it together as a united front.
Very good. All right, Jessica, I'm going to send you back to the green room. We'll bring you back and we'll talk with Brian I will be right back with you. Thank you very much, Jessica. Good to see you.